This time it is the Masters event with your old pal vandweller. It is the red bracket, everybody's favorite bracket, the red bracket for the Masters event here in February 2022. And speaking of the red bracket, let us look at the bracket. What is going on tonight? Well, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to improvise here, and it's going to look awful. Oh, wait, that was the wrong thing. Hold on. Here we go. Ready? Through the magic of television, I'm going to zoom in. There it is. That's what we're doing tonight. The red bracket. What? I don't even know what to say. I don't know how these four players ended up in the same bracket. It must be rigged. It must be rigged. Look at it. It's going to be Cheese, the godfather of rolling. He started all this nonsense. Oh my God. Against Miles the Great, who is the world's greatest TikToker and who is a pretty darn good roller himself. Incredible. Cheese and Miles will not be the first match. That's going to be the second match, right? But that's who's on top. We're actually going to do these out of order just to make it better for our next group of players, which is Mark PM0. Everybody knows Mark Migas. Welcome. He welcomes everybody to the Discord. He's the nicest person on earth. He runs the prediction bracket. And by the way, he had a 1.2 average of 2 qualifier as a DAS player in a field of cracked rollers and tappers. As a DAS player, he got the sixth seed in qualifying as a DAS player, a 1.2. So that is amazingly consistent for a DAS player. And he will be going up against Huffulufugus, a back-to-back top 8 CTWC finisher and a semi-finalist in the ESWT BBWC 2021. So really a polymath when it comes to competitive gaming. A multi-instrumentalist. Huffulufugus, a master of many disciplines. The prize pool is $2,015.70. And what that means is we have achieved one of our goals. And that means if we got to 2,000, then we would pay out places 5 through 8. Now, you might be asking, oh, well, doesn't that mean we're skimming money off of the top places? Not really. The way to think about it is, all right, once we get to $1,800, where we pause contributing money to first and fourth, we fill up the 5th through 8th buckets. And then at 2,000 we begin filling everybody else, and it ends up going up for everybody again. So that's really kind of how to think about this. We are not taking money away from these players. It's just at 1,800 we fill up the prize pools from 5th to 8th, and then once it hits 2,000, everybody starts to go up again. So it looks like it's going down, but it's really going up. So yeah, incredible that we're going to be able to play half the tournament. So basically what that means is if you win a match in CTM Masters this month, you're in the money. And that's gonna right now that would be $50. So that's not bad. It is the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event, the red bracket between the incredible world record holding Mark PM0 for DAS and the world record roller Huffulufugus. Let us go ahead and get it going. Here we are. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, as we mentioned, yes, they are both world record holders. Mark has the record for a DAS transition. So the score at level 19, starting on 18 start, has the highest recorded DAS transition at 754,360. And if that's not perfect, it's pretty darn close. He also has the highest ever DAS qualifier in Classic Tetris Monthly history with a 1.2 average of 2. And that is pretty good. We do not use the max outs method like Like the other leading Tetris brand, we use an average of the top 2 qualifying scores. And Mark has set the world record for that this month. So amazing. And players are just making their early setups here. Standard level 18 Tetris. And of course, Huff world record. Level 19 start world record with a 1.864. And the most ever lines, really with any start. 579 lines from any start for NTSC. I mean, listen, this isn't fractal stuff here, okay? For the NTSC version, so, which is harder to do than PAL. So, amazing. All right, 148 here for Huff in the early goings, 143 for Mark. So pretty close in score, but you'll notice there is a little bit of an offset, about 9 lines. Mark, I think there's a little bit of stream delay. The internet tubes are maybe clogged up on their way to the Philippines. Tetris Jazz, thank you for the resub, Twitch Prime resub. 9 months, Twitch baby, any day now. Maitre thank you so much for the resub, 14 months. And of course, thanks again to Miles the Great for the Prime resub. It's a good reminder, if you do have Amazon Prime, then you also have a free Twitch Prime sub that you can give to any Twitch streamer. And you know, why not to give it to us? We've been providing you top-notch classic Tetris entertainment. Oh my god, wait, that's the name of something else. But that's what we've been providing you going on into our 5th year. So, you know, we, so if that means something to you, then certainly feel free. But it's also okay just to sit here and watch for free, and that is 100% okay as well. So we got 273 here for Huffulufugus at 71 lines. Mark 192 through 60. So mild is kind of a medium, moderate pace for both players. Tetris giving a gift sub to GameScout. Thanks so much, Tetris. And a hype train is close. Like, oh my god, we don't need to do a hype train. Actually, it was funny because it was Scout who ruined what we were trying to accomplish. We were trying to do a hype train here on Twitch. Well, the hype train started and we decided, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we got it to level 5 and then just didn't complete it and stopped it at 99%. And we had it in hand, and then GameScout ruined it by giving 50 bits. So it's the 50 cents that shook the world. Maybe one other, some other day we'll do that. 311 for Mark, 368 for Huff. But again, keep in mind the line difference, which is about 6 to 11 at any given time. Mark on DAS, Huff rolling. You can see the gloved hand, kind of butterflying fingers across the back of the controller, driving the controller into his thumb. That is the rolling technique. 360 for Mark, and of course Das Mark's technique is just to like press and hold the button. So far less dynamic, but there is still an art to it because a lot of it is feel. 389 for Mark, 424 for Huff. Das is very much about knowing the timings of how long to press the button to get it to a certain place. Nice adjustment for Huff with those two J pieces back to back to create a Tetris well. Takes the burn and a Tetris. 453 for Huff, 437 for Mark. They're actually getting closer in lines. Yes, we do have the Matcherino notifications working, thanks to Pumpy for basically turning it off and turning it back on again. He's been watching the IT crowd. All right, 5:02 transition from Huff, kind of a moderate pace in a tournament here in Masters. 5:08, so a higher transition for Mark here on DAS. Now, Huff will have, post 28 playability, which Mark almost certainly will not. So I think for the DAS player, it will be incumbent on the DAS player to be as efficient as possible, and maybe having to gamble a little bit. Huff can play it a little bit safer because, in theory, he can make up some of these points. He has more lines, really, to make up these points. So 592 here for Mark, 682 for Huff. Huff is into level 22. And Mark with the dirty Tetris column 9. Well played. Mark, so good. Truly one of the world's finest DAS players. Is it a dying art? Is it tournament relevant? Well, we'll see. I mean, he got in with a 1.2 average of 2 into qualifiers as the 6th seed. So certainly trying to make a case that DAS still relevant at the top levels. And, there are players who are playing efficiently with DAS. At a disadvantage, to be sure. With rolling and tapping, you have more places to stash unwanted pieces, higher on the board. You can wait longer for the right piece. So theoretically, less burning. $733 for Mark, $776 for Huff. But of course, as we've observed, this is getting a little bit dangerous for Mark. Pretty limited right now, even with quick taps. He's kind of going for... Wow. All right. He's going to look for that L piece. He wants the L. Okay, he's going to use that square. But now that left side, what can fit in there? And the answer is not much. And now not anything. Mark going to top out 743 here on 25. And Huff is going to get heart number 1. All right, so Huff, you are good. You may top out, sir. And it's great to see all those sponsor quests coming in. I mean, it seems like small amounts, but it definitely adds up. And besides just contributing, money to the prize pool, it also just kind of signals to us like, hey, I care about what's happening. I may not be able to contribute cash, but, I'm going to do my part, and that's important too. So thank you to everybody who's taken the time and energy to do that. All right, we got the hover 3 from both players. Let's go ahead and get it started. Game 2. Whoops, I just put it in my secret Pumpy channel. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I totally typed the 3 command in the wrong channel. I typed it into Discord. And you can see on Mark's side the internet tubes are a little bit like clogged arteries here, so it's taking a little bit extra time. And that's going to put Mark, anywhere probably 15 pieces behind. Is that what it was? About 15 pieces? So Huff, in subsequent games, you are welcome to, count an additional 7 seconds off or something like that just before you start. That would line it up on our thing, but you don't have to do that. Just play, just play the game, really. That's your primary concern is to play the game. Don't worry about us. But if you wanted to do that, you could. All right, so we got Huff piling stuff high on the left. Kind of a Z dependency over there. Going to get the T to fill it in. Remainings will fix it in post. Nice. All right, Tetris for Mark, 93,000. There's one for Huff, 118. And we are, in fact, about 6 lines different. There's a 6-line difference here. Look at that. Pumpy Heart being a great doobie there. They don't say that anymore. A good doobie. That's like old. That's like 70s. Hey, would you be a good doobie and do this? Like, old people remember that, but would you be a good doobie and do that? Now doobie is a term for, well, a substance which is legal in some places and illegal still in others. So 168 here for Mark through 38 lines. 192 for Huff through 44, so still about a 6-line difference. That could change, of course, if one of these players plays a little bit higher than the other. Now you would expect Huff to play a little bit higher on average and maybe pull away. Mark as the DAS player, not pushing down. Kind of in the Jonas camp of never pushing down, as opposed to the Harry camp, which is always push down all the time. Except when you go to CTWC 2019 and then, like, don't push down, having never practiced doing that, and then have a really rough time against Matt Martin. That was tough. All right, certainly a little bit better pace here for Mark, halfway to transition. Huff probably, I don't know, 2 to 3 Tetrises behind pace where he would like to be at this point. You know, ideally you'd like to be at 80 lines with 400K. It's a good benchmark. That would give you a 600K plus transition. But still certainly workable, and you can go on a run, a very efficient run, and still, you know, get a 600K transition, so not really that far behind. Hopefully we have a better time in chat today than we did in our previous broadcast, and just be a good doobie and help Vandy out. Pumpy, did you check the monthly Tetris email today and see if we got any news about our partner application? Or are you waiting to tell me until after the broadcast so I'm not all bummed out? 414 for Mark in the lead and behind in line. So, and Huff is burning right now. Pumpy keeps that email open 24/7. Nothing yet. I know. I do check it a lot. I don't see why we would not get partner this time. I understand last time, even though we are the preeminent online classic Tetris tournament, and, you know, we've been around for a while and we got some pretty good numbers. I get why we wouldn't. We didn't have a good YouTube presence. We weren't really on socials or anything like that, but all that has changed. So I don't see really a good argument for not getting partner unless it's just the terrible toxic people in Twitch chat ruining it for us. Mark here at 4. I'm joking, of course. That is sarcasm. Put a little kappa emoji or emote or whatever after that. Emoji, imagine. 512 here for Mark. Huff is going to transition 481. And Mark, assuming he transitions, will have the higher transition score for the second game in a row as the DAS player against the roller. Man, Tetris for Huff, 20 lines ahead. As you would expect, able to play higher, which means a shorter average fall time per piece. Which means more pieces on the board per unit of time. And that's how you get ahead. Plus, you know, Huff has been in Got into 19 first, so that's a thing. 545, no, 569 for Mark, 139 lines. Huff a bit high. Getting that T over, and this is where the rolling comes in. That right side, oh man, imagine getting a piece in there. It's absolutely bonkers. And Huff is going to bring this down. It's another day at the office for Huffulufugus. And this is going to come down, open on the right side, finally again. And he's going to use that long bar to fill in the dependency and gets another one to get the Tetris. So Huff is out of danger and scoring again, 645, behind in score and ahead by 22 lines. So this is a definite, decided actual score and pace score for Mark right now at 681. 4,000 points ahead in score and 22 lines in hand. Now, of course, pace kind of goes out the window in the rolling era for rolling players because they can play a substantial number of lines past the 29 transition. So it's an interesting dynamic to be sure. Tetris for Mark, 757. 4,000 points ahead of Huff. And 16 lines in hand. Huff playing a little bit higher here, as you would expect. And just waiting here, kind of double LJ dependent. Finally gets a long bar over, no problem, 792. And another one, 826 for Huff. So score, at least score-wise, it's neck and neck. But then you say, all right, well, Mark has so much extra time. But he does need to remain efficient. Cannot take his foot off. Huff is the, of course, world record holder for the number of lines. So, he can go. Mark actually setting up center well here. Might have painted himself a little bit into a corner, trying to be hyper aggressive. And he's not going to get that dirty Tetris, and now he's just going to have to burn all this away, burning up valuable pace. And Huff now with a 100,000 point lead, which means Mark does have to make that up. I mean, this is a Chasedown situation now in effect, even though Huff's into level 30 and Huff is still continuing to add lines. So it's kind of weird. Even though it's live, it's kind of like Mark's on a timer. There is one Tetris, and this is going to be really tough. That burn is so crucial because that took away a Tetris before kill screen. And so he's just going to have to set up for 2 or try to just, hope for, push and pray really. And he is going to top out at 955, and Huff just continues to pile it on here on level 32. And Huff is going to get heart number 2. And see, if you're a Dash player, you are definitely on a timer, and you can have that score lead and pace lead the entire time. And Huff can just, and keep working an extra 40 lines, and that's what you have to contend with. So Huff gets heart number 2. But great game for Mark. I mean, it's not easy to just put up a 955 like on command as a Dash player. So. An excellent performance for Mark. I mean, it's not easy to just do that. You're much more RNG dependent than the roller is. And Mark is going to need to win this one to stay in it. CTM Masters Event Game 3 for in match number 1 in the red bracket. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yeah, I gotta say this, I've been pleasantly surprised by the Raise energy drink, and I got 4 cans, and that was about, when did I open it? About a week ago, and they're all gone. So You know, they were good. They have kind of a soda taste, but it's not like super diet soda. The only thing I will say is like a little, it is a little chalky, but not in a bad way. Almost like if you've had, what's that candy, like Smarties? They kind of take, it's got a little bit of a Smarties vibe to it, which I don't mind because I like that candy. So, yeah. And plus, you know, I'm on a ketogenic diet. This has 0 carbs, so it doesn't add to my carb count. And, oh, here's the other thing. Let me give a quick score check here. 79 for Huff, 73 for Mark. We're still early in the game here, so it's like early innings in a baseball game. You're not missing much. But I'll tell you the other thing that's interesting about it is, you know, sometimes these, even these low carb and like, you know, artificial sweetener things can spike your blood sugar. And it didn't for me. Like I'm in ketosis. I have this ketosis meter that I breathe into, and it tells me like ketones and stuff for my keto diet. And I was in deeper ketosis the next day. I mean, not because of the drink, but it certainly didn't knock me out. So I'm pretty impressed, in all honesty. I just have a rule that I don't want to endorse or, you know, shill for something that I don't truly like or believe in. We took a little bit of a shot on Rays, and I was definitely somebody who was in the G Fuel camp, and I do like G Fuel, but, you know, color me impressed. I'm pretty impressed with this Rays stuff. So I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. And that's for sure. And I think you guys all know that by now. So if it's something that interests you, then I would encourage you, you know, if you were going to get some anyway, or you think it's interesting, then certainly go ahead and use our link. And I will stop talking about Rays because we are now approaching a third of the way to transition. 196 for Mark, 167 for Huff. So we see again, Mark a little bit behind in lines, and that's because of the, you know, the difference in, you know, the travel time of the internet or whatever. You know, it takes a little bit of extra time. There's a few more servers to go through to get from the Philippines to here in Texas. So that's a little bit of the difference at the beginning, but then of course Huff can play higher and he'll get to 19 first. And so that's just gonna, you know, exacerbate and widen that gap as we go. But what you're seeing is Mark really in the pace lead again for the third game in a row, behind in lines and ahead in score. And that's just a testament to, you know, how consistent Mark is as a DAS player. Oh, Mark is in Germany. Why did it say Philippines? Oh, wrong flag. Why does it say Philippines? Yeah, he's Philippines in Germany. Oh, I see. So he's in Germany. Either way, the internet tubes. He's in Germany and he's Filipino. Gotcha. And his bio says Philippines. So I'm very confused. But wherever he is, it doesn't matter. He's an individual first, right? Just as we all are. We are not first Americans or Filipinos or Germans. We are individuals. So there you go. 344 here for Mark. 364 for Huffulufugus. Bang Tetris for Huff. Oh yeah. So I forgot. I knew that he's in Germany, but see, I knew that, but then I saw Huff with kind of the spicy L piece. So trying to burn this down without putting a ton of extra weight on the right side. Ends up having to put that weight there anyway. That's why, I do wish technically, listen, you can put down whatever you want as your flag so long as it makes sense. Sharky with the raid, 37 viewers. Thank you so much, Sharky. But it does help me out to know like where someone's physically located. But I guess you can represent, as long as you're born there or you live there. Either one, it doesn't matter. So Mark again with the lead in pace. Huff's going to transition here 469. So relatively low paces, I would say, for Huff at transition. You know, high 400s, low 500s. But you can see that did not hurt him at all in games 1 or 2. At least results-wise anyway. And there's a Tetris for Huff, 545. Transition for Mark, 536. So about a 2 Tetris higher transition for Mark than Huff. Tetris for Mark, 568. Huff up a little bit high, though. Going to take that double. You love to see it. And he's going to bring this down, I think. All right, so he's going to open up the right and then just, yeah, he's going to burn all this down. And, you know, you can take a few extra burns. You don't need the 600K paces and you don't need to play super perfect when you can play so deep into 29 and beyond. 624 for Mark. It's a different story for Mark, who does have to be efficient. And I think, you know, when it comes down to the advantages for either the rolling play style or just being a very fast tapper, you know, in the past, I think it would be easy to say like, oh, the advantage is, well, you can stash pieces, you can wait a little bit longer for the right piece, you can, you know, have more places to stash unwanted pieces, and that is true. And that is an advantage. But what we've been seeing over the last several months is just level 29 and beyond playability becoming a factor. 728 here for Huff, 693 for Mark, separated by 21 lines. And you're seeing that be more of a factor, and therefore those players who can play deep past the kill screen. Oh, Mark's board is just spiraling out of control, and he's going to top out. Huff gets the heart. And as we've seen, you know, a lot of these players and really fast a lot of the rollers and very fast tappers can take their foot off the accelerator a little bit because they can make some of it up after 29. And so we've got Huffulufugus here will advance to the quarterfinals. That means Huff is in the money now that we're paying 8 places this month. And Mark is not going to make it, but Mark, I mean, it's a fabulous story to see DAS players 6th seed in the Masters event. So, you know, DAS not 100% out, but I think this game did really show, you know, a lot of the vulnerabilities kind of in miniature here. So, but yeah, a great performance from Mark, and it was so good to see you here, and I hope to see you here again. You know, maybe someday like a DAS rolling hybrid or something like that. But truly one of the great DAS players of our age. So congratulations to you, Mark, for making it here. Congrats to you, Huff, for moving on, making it into the money. We'll see you in a bit. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.